Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to understand about the variable activity in Microsoft Fabric. So variable activity is similar to the programming language. In programming language also we create a variable and we store some values, right? For taking example in a Python, suppose you had to create any variable. So what actually you do? First you create a variable name. Suppose I am creating one variable name as a name. Now in this name, what actually I can do? I can store any values. I can store any values. Suppose you had to create another variable. The variable name, suppose you have given the file count. File count. Now in this file count, what actually you can do? You can store any kind of the values here. Suppose the file count is 10. Means to store the intermediate values, what actually we do? We try to create a variable and we try to store our intermediate values there. In a Fabric also we have a same concept. Variable are used to store intermediates value, track count, build the dynamic content or control flow logic. In a Fabric also, we can create a variable by using a variable activity. And what actually we can do? We can create any variable. So for that you have to give the variable name, and in this variable name you can store any values. Now let's take one example with the real time. Suppose I have one of the blob storage. Now in this blob storage, I have a couple of files like file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that the multiple files are there. Now your requirement is like if in this particular folder, if the file is if total file count is greater than 5, if total file count is greater than 5, then what you have to do? You have to perform a copy. If the file count is if total file is less than 5, then you do not have to perform a copy activity. This is your requirement. So in this case, what actually you will do? First, you will with the help of the get metadata you will try to read what are the file which is available, now to know whether what is the total file count, to know the total file count, what actually you will do, you will create one variable, right? So that you can store like what is the total file count. So what I will do, I will use a variable activity. I'll create one variable. Suppose I'm creating a variable name as a file count, and here I will store the values like what is the total number of count, so suppose total number of file count is 6, right? So I will try to store into this particular variable. Now after that I can write a condition like if the file count is greater 5, so I will use if condition. If the file count is greater than 5, then I will perform a copy data. If it is not greater than 5, then I will just skip it, and then I will just skip it. So like that logic actually we can build. So for that we use a variable activity. Let's do a practical so that we'll get better idea. I open a Fabric. I'll go to the workspace. I'll go to the data factory. We are going to create a new item, and I'll create a data pipeline. Click on the data pipeline, create. In Azure, I have created one data storage. So I'll go there. I'll go to the storage account. Go to the storage. I have one of the container. In that container, we have a multiple files. I'll show you. This is the source container. In this source container, I have a multiple files available. You can see two files are available. Now, what actually I want to do in a Fabric, this is a pipeline I have created, right? We want to read the number of file which is available here. So what I will do, first I will use a get metadata to read the number of file which is available. So I'll use a get metadata. In this get metadata, we'll create a connection. So we already established a connection in previous video. I will use the same one. You have to select the file path. This is a container. This is the source we have passed. And now we will give the file format. Let me give the file format as a delimited text. Now in the field list, you will see couple of options like child item, XJS item name, item type and all. We'll use the child item to know what are the file which is available. After that, I will try to run this and I will try to see whether I am able to see what are the file which is available there. You can see it is succeed. I am able to read what are the file which is available. Now what I will do, I'll create one variable. In that variable, what is the total count of file that I will try to store. I'll go to the activity. In this activity, you will see one of the variable. You can see set variable is there. I'll use that. I'll try to connect this both. Now I'll go to the set variable. In this set variable, go to the setting. You can see pipeline variable, pipeline return value. We are going to create a new one, so click on the new one. I'll give the any variable name you can give. So suppose I will give the name as a file count, and the value I want to store as an integer. Confirm. Now you have to pass the expression. You have to pass the expression. So from this get metadata, right, I will select what I will try to find out. I will try to find out what is the length of the file. So if I just write a length, what is the total length into this child item, if I'll do this, I should be able to get the total length of the file. Click on the OK. I have created one variable and this is the expression I am passing. So with the help of that expression, it will try to store the values there. Now let's try to run. Save and run. You can see it is succeed now. First it is running the get metadata and it is succeed. Now the set variable is succeed. Go to the output tab. You can see value is 2. The variable we have created the file count and it is saying it is 2 because here we have only the 2 file, right? So we are able to read that. Now you will see whatever the expression you are writing, right, how you will get to know like what is the length and what is the count, means what kind of the expression we already have available. So you can see here in triple dot, right? Click here, click on the functions. You will see different kind of the functions are available. Suppose you had to do any kind of the maths operation like add is there, max is there, minimum. So these all the things actually we can use. Suppose you had to derive any kind of the date function. So add days, add hours, add minutes, everything is available here. Means multiple function which is available already available which we can use. Suppose you had to write any if, if you have to write any greater condition, that also we can do. So like that actually we can do. Now on top of this, suppose you have stored the value, right? Now suppose if you are using a if condition, if the file is greater than 1, then you will perform copy data. If it is less than 5, then you will not perform. So like that condition we can write. So set variable generally we use to store some values into the particular variable. I hope you got the idea.